Solving the unsolved mysteries between the sentence particle wa and the sentence particle ga. What is the difference between 猫は三匹いる and 猫が三匹いる? Let's talk about it. So this lesson is supposed to cover sentence particles in general, but since there are so many sentence particles in Japanese, I'm going to split this video into two and first explain about the sentence particle wa and ga, and then talk about the rest in my next video. Before I explain the differences between the wa sentence particle and the ga sentence particle, I need you to understand the basic grammar structure of Japanese. English is a subject-verb-object language in which the verb always comes in the middle of the subject and the object. For example, the sentence, I go to school. Notice how go is in the middle of I and school. And that's because English is a subject-verb-object language. If we translate this sentence into Japanese, it becomes 僕は学校に行く. 僕は学校に行く. And notice how 行く, or to go in Japanese, goes at the end of the sentence rather than the middle. And because of this, Japanese is a subject-object-verb language. So in English, the Japanese sentence structure is like saying I school go, where go goes at the end of the sentence. And so one may ask, what are these random hiragana characters that are in between these vocabulary terms in the sentence? And those are exactly sentence particles. Sentence particles are basically parts of a sentence that establishes a meaning between two terms in Japanese. You can think of them as flags that tell you what the previous element of a sentence is. And there are many sentence particles in Japanese, and one of the most important sentence particles is the sentence particle wa. The sentence particle wa is the topic particle, and this particle allows you to set a topic and talk about what it is or what it does. You write the sentence particle wa using the hiragana character ha, but we read it as wa when we're using it as a sentence particle. So make sure that you don't read this sentence as boku ha kensei desu. You have to read it as boku wa kensei desu. So like I said, the sentence particle wa sets a topic and it allows you to talk about that topic. So for example, if I say banana wa oishii, banana wa oishii, that means bananas taste good or bananas are good. And notice how whatever comes after the wa is describing the topic, which is banana in this case. And here's another example. Boku no suki na kudamono wa banana desu. Boku no suki na kudamono wa banana desu. And notice how banana becomes a description to whatever fruit I like. And you can almost think of the sentence particle wa as a translation for the English term is, but it's not actually true because you can also describe actions using the sentence particle wa. So like in the first example, 僕は学校に行く. This is describing my actions. I go to school. And notice in English we don't say I is going to school or I is go to school. We just say I go to school. So the sentence particle wa doesn't necessarily equate to the term is. So what you need to know is the sentence particle wa is a topic particle which sets a topic and it allows you to describe what it is and what it does. Now let's talk about the sentence particle ga. The sentence particle ga actually does the exact same thing as the sentence particle wa, except it has a specific purpose, and that is emphasizing whatever comes before the sentence particle ga, or the subject itself. The sentence particle ga is often known as the identifier particle, and that's because it allows you to identify what was unspecified. So if someone asks you, 誰がバナナを盗みましたか? 誰がバナナを盗みましたか? That means, who stole the banana? And notice how this question is asking about the subject. Who stole the banana? We know the description. We know we're talking about someone that stole the banana, but we don't know the someone. And because we don't know the someone and we're trying to identify who it is, we need to use the sentence particle ga rather than the sentence particle wa in this case. So a response to this question, for example, can be 僕がバナナを盗みました. 僕がバナナを盗みました. And that means I stole the banana. And notice that in English, we emphasize the subject by saying I stole the banana, and we change our intonation when we're speaking. But in Japanese, the ga sentence particle allows us to emphasize the subject. If we say 僕はバナナを盗んだ, that just means I stole a banana. And it has nothing to do with identifying who stole the banana. It literally means I stole a banana. But if we say 僕がバナナを盗んだ, it allows me to emphasize that it is indeed myself who stole the banana. So another example, 誰が君を泣かせたの?誰が君を泣かせたの? That means who made you cry. And again, in this sentence, it is asking who made you cry. It is asking you to identify the subject, who did it. For the response to this, you have to use the sentence particle が to put emphasis on who did it, who made you cry. And now for the question of the day. What is the difference between 猫は三匹いる and 猫が三匹いる? Now, I want you to visualize this. For the sentence with the particle は, I want you to visualize a cat, an actual cat. And when I say 猫は三匹いる, I want you to then count 1, 2, 3, 3 cats. The unknown in this question is how many cats there are. And when we're saying 猫は三匹いる, we know that the topic is about cats. We know that it is in fact a cat, but the unknown here is how many there are. And notice that we're putting emphasis on the description rather than the cat or the subject itself. Now think of the sentence with the sentence particle が. The sentence particle が, remember, identifies the unknown subject. So what you need to imagine is a silhouette of a cat, but we don't know exactly what it is. And you can imagine 3 silhouettes, and we don't know what they are, but when I say 猫が三匹いる, then you can visualize the 3 cats and we can identify what they exactly are. So again, 猫は三匹いる and 猫が三匹いる both mean there are 3 cats, but it is the way that we are describing the situation that makes the 2 sentences different. So 猫は三匹いる is like saying there are 3 cats, and we're putting emphasis on the fact that there are 3. There are 3 cats. But when we're saying 猫が三匹いる, we're putting emphasis on there are 3 cats, the subject itself, rather than how many cats there are. So as a summary, what you need to understand is that the sentence particle は is putting the emphasis on the description itself. We know what we're talking about, but the main purpose of the sentence is to explain what it's doing or what it is. Whereas the sentence particle が is putting emphasis on the subject or what is doing that action, or what is the true identity that fits this description. And one last thing you need to know is that the sentence particle が has the tendency of referring to a single unit of a subject. What I mean by this is that, for example, if I say スマホがない, スマホがない means I can't find my smartphone. And notice how when I say I can't find my smartphone, I'm talking about one unit of a smartphone. I'm not talking about the smartphones in the world, I'm just talking about my own smartphone, one unit of a smartphone. And by saying スマホがない, スマホがない, we know that we're talking about one unit of a smartphone rather than the general sense or the general idea of a smartphone. On the other hand, if I say スマホは便利だよね, that means smartphones are very useful. In this case, we're just talking about the general idea of smartphones. We are talking about all of smartphones in general. And we're not just talking about one unit, or my smartphone or his smartphone. We're talking about all of the smartphones in the world. I hope you now understand the differences between the wa sentence particle and the ga sentence particle, but if you have any more questions, make sure to ask me in the comments down below and I'll get to you as soon as possible. If you want to practice your Japanese, make sure to check our Discord server where we usually have calls in both Japanese and English. And also, if you want to take some free Japanese lessons, download the Amino app and access Japanese School Amino. But until next time, mata ne!